Welcome to your Daily Dose of Sunday School, episode 145. We are looking at the 8th commandment, you shall not steal. We're using the question 74 of the Westminster Shorter Catechism. Here's what it says. What is required in the 8th commandment? The 8th commandment requires the lawful procuring and furthering the wealth and outward estate of ourselves and others. So we know the commandment is forbidding us to do something. Okay, so if we keep in mind that we are not wanting to do that, what is it that we should do instead? While we're not stealing, what should we be doing? What is the opposite of having a thieving heart? And one thing this requires is procuring and furthering our own wealth in a lawful manner. I kind of feel like this might sound kind of crass today to say something like that. But this is, we don't want to idolize wealth. We know that. Whether or not we practice that appropriately is another question. But understanding that we're not to idolize wealth, life is going to consist of you, hopefully, working hard and improving the things that God has given you. Which is why older people typically have more money than younger people. That is really the way God designed the world. Our proof text, Proverbs 27, 23, I'm going to read further on. Know well the condition of your flocks and give attention to your herds. So you've got animals, you've got property, and these things can be increasing. These things can be in good health and demonstrate your wisdom. It will give glory to God if you do it lawfully and look after what He's given to you. It says, for riches do not last forever, and does a crown endure to all generations? So you could focus on the fact I've got gold in the bank. You could focus on the fact that I have authority or I have a position. You got an MBA career, but you're not putting anything away, that sort of thing. Saying, God's also giving you these sheep. Why are you not looking after them? You think you've got more important things to do. You think you don't need it. He says, no. Look after these things. Make sure your herds are increasing and they're healthy. It says, when the grass is gone and the new growth appears and the vegetation of the mountain is gathered, the lambs will provide your clothing and the goats the price of a field. There will be enough goat's milk for your food and the food of your household and maintenance for your girls. You've got to look out for your family. You've got to diversify. Don't say I've got enough money in the bank. Okay, so we know we're not to trust our money. We know we're not supposed to. We are supposed to remember the sparrows. We know that, and we are supposed to remember that God takes care of them, even without barns and things like that. And of course, we don't want to be like that man in Jesus' parable who says, "I'm just going to build bigger barns and bigger barns," and doesn't consider God as most important in that equation. And he was called a fool by King Jesus. So we don't want to be like them. We don't want to put our hope in riches, but we do want to act wisely. God's put us in this world. He's given certain things. We want to take what He's given us and improve it. We want to have not just one thing that we are, okay, this thing's going to help us out on a rainy day. We want to have we want to diversify. And so it sounds like this guy, he's got some gold. He's even got some status. And a lot of people would forget about the flocks. They don't want to get dirty with flocks, okay? God says, okay, don't presume on these things. Take everything I've given you and try to be wise with everything I've given you. So, when I think of youth in school, you're taking all these classes all day. Be wise with everything God gives you. He gives you a math class. Who cares you don't like math? Don't put all your eggs in one basket. You do your very best in math so that if you have to use it, or if you have an opportunity that would require some knowledge of math, you have that opportunity. I think it's the same principle. You want to maximize your opportunity. Everything that God puts in your hands, do it well, try to improve upon it. Don't just be, I'm a reading kid and I like reading, or I'm a math kid and all I do is math. And well, you better get better at writing. That's what you better do. You better get better at communicating. Whatever God puts into your hands, gives you an opportunity to do, give the most you can to it, because you don't know the future. Just like the person with the gold and the crown doesn't know the future. You don't know the future, so improve everything that He's given to you so you can provide for yourself and your family.